Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Angst. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Angst. Dun 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 dun. Angst. It's angst, folks, and it's here for all of us.
So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered. Too.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. Taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content, and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles.
Because we're going to fondle your barnacles.
But barnacles.
They're your boat barnacles.
Okay, so then let's begin. I'm Dan.
Wow. I'm Nick, folks.
And we have a duo here that discusses every topic under the sun, called the unpanderers.
The unpanderers.
Or the sun panderers, as I would like to coin us.
Wow, that's pretty good because we're sons and everything under the sun. Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, angst.
Angst.
You know,
Whew.
I
don't know when this episode will air, but did you know daylight savings time has recently happened on the East Coast?
Yes, I
That
do
has
know
filled
that,
me with
Nick.
Angst. Wait, I don't know. Is it really all over the United States? I have no idea.
Isn't looking at a clock like every time, like it gives you angst, a little bit of angst every time you're like, I'm supposed to be somewhere. Like there's something that you're supposed to be doing in the world and it's not happening.
A little bit, but mine's maybe reverse because like I'm angst at work because I'm like, 3 more hours. 2 more hours for lunch. Hour and a half. I have to pretend I'm working. 4 more hours.
Pretend. I don't want to make believe the whole time. It's ridiculous.
I better find something real to do because I am bored of pretending to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to really work, folks.
Hmm.
Angst is a creepy feeling, but more of a dread feeling.
You got some definitions there.
Long term? I did. I looked them up, but I didn't write them down today.
Oh, that's a problem.
We're gonna have to use the old phone.
I did. I looked them up, but I didn't save the bookmarks.
Oh, jeez.
I have to
terrible.
type quietly.
I would say it's a feeling
of deep
anxiety
and dread.
or dread.
Yeah.
Wow. Like dreadlocks. How cool would it be if I just took this off and I had dreads?
And dread.
And I was like, what a coincidence. I really would love to have revealed dreadlocks that way.
Typically.
Is it typically unfocused? It's one about the human condition, would you say?
Or the state
Or
of
the
the
state
world?
of the world in general. Holy
oh man,
fudge.
that's wow.
That's friggin'
Persistent
nuts.
worry about something trivial.
Oh my god. Good.
It's
Nice.
weird that it's
Nice.
the state of the world and something trivial. It's like you're just like worried. It's a
It kinda
spectrum.
Is it long term or short term? It has to be long term, right? It's you don't feel angst at something short term. I mean, the feeling is a long term feeling. Like you can't be like, I'm angsty for a minute and then you're not. I don't know. I
It can't
guess
be
you
like
could.
hunger. Like you're like I'm angsty for like a
Yeah, you
Coke. And then
satiated.
yeah. Like I worry that I'm not gonna have.
Like long term. It's like a gnawing thing that never quite goes away. It's sort
But
of
that's
always
like
lurking.
Snapple rain. Like I'm angsty that I don't have that anymore. But that's like a worldly thing. Like the world is changing. I can't have like, things.
Well,
go
it was
away.
the elements. They had rain, fire,
Fire.
and what was the third one? There was 3 they came out with. They were in glass jars. Did you know this? Do you recall this?
Mm-hmm.
So there were the elements. It was rain, which was agave something. That was delicious. Fire, which was like dragon fruit, and then there was a third one. Then they came out with the metal cans, and
Which are
they
terrible.
they changed something. They
Earth,
had
rain,
meteor.
sun, and fire.
What was Earth? I feel like that's wow. That's kind of cool.
What does it say on the bottle? It says on the bottle, doesn't it?
I don't recall one of them.
It's
I only
written in
remember
90s
3.
font, so I can't read it now.
That gives me angst. Just thinking about 90s fonts, I'm like,
It's like
ooh.
grape cum
Kombucha.
this looks like kombucha, but there's no way. I can't.
No,
It's
I
like
got it.
intended that you can't read it.
Nice. Good call. Good call.
I miss those
Snapple.
drinks though. I was telling
I
my
really do miss those.
23-year-old coworker about those drinks, and he's like, "Those sound amazing. Like they would do really well
They
right
were
now."
really good. Well, I wonder what they were like made of. Were they just like a sugary drink? I don't even know. Was it an iced tea product? I have no idea. It was an element.
It was
I actually felt like I
in
was drinking
between
rain
types of
or
drinks.
fire.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a sports drink. It wasn't a soda. It wasn't like a juice, and it wasn't a tea. Like
It was between those 4. I would
yeah,
have perfectly put it between those 4. I mixed vodka with that was like when we first started drinking. We would either mix it with a Wawa iced tea or a nice fire and vodka. Yeah. I think we were also like teens.
yeah. It's when you're
Drinking whatever with
Smirnoff
whatever.
Ice. Oh, it's so
Mix it in, baby. Woo!
mix the Smirnoff Ice with more sugar.
Yeah, why not? But angst, right?
Angst,
What we were
whoa.
talking about.
Yeah,
Right there.
right in the vein of angst.
Oh, angst. Bang. Out of the ballpark.
So like
So,
teenage angst, is that like that's a thing? That's the typical understanding of angst, right?
I came across a term called angst bunny, and I was like,
There's an
what is
angst
this?
bunny. Is this like a
It's
coping mechanism?
it's a teenager who's into goth things like over the top. Like
Oh,
all black, wears the goth outfit, says I hate you dad, like the bangs have to come down
oh
over
yeah,
your eyes.
yeah,
Like that's a thing. That's an angst bunny. That's
yeah.
someone who like
Rebellion.
it's cute. It's cute that they think they're so negative on the world when like you kind of can't before 20, but then again, maybe they were right. Like I don't know. Can you actually have angst at like 16 when you haven't even lived on your own?
How old do you have to be to impact the world? Really?
You could do it at 10 or 12 somehow. I mean, I'm not sure. That's a freak in a freak
Yeah.
circumstance. So generally though,
Ryan's
when you
tour
live on
review,
your own,
$80 million. Just throw that out there.
that kid gives me angst.
Yeah, I haven't
He's
done
gonna
enough.
die.
God
He's
damn
gonna
it.
die before he turns 18. I know it.
Drug overdose. Ryan's
Yeah,
tour
dude.
review. Can't handle the
Ryan's
pressure.
Smack review. This one was totally the dragon. I was gonna go further, but I can't joke about a 5-year-old dying and shit.
He's older than that now, right?
He's like 7 or 8 or 9, I
Yeah.
think. His videos. He's captured in
It's
time.
I
as a
can't wait till he
5-year-old.
gets angsty.
He is
I don't
gonna
even
be
want to do
angsty.
this anymore. He's progressing faster and faster.
He's becoming a teenager at 9. Oh my god, he's like a 24-year-old at like age 14, and by the time he's like 18, he's a 70-year-old man just smoking cigarettes, and he doesn't care about the world anymore, and he's been divorced 3 times.
I hope
Dude, you're not even 18.
What's the opposite of revert? Like, I hope he reverts into the comic book guy from
Evolutes.
Simpsons. He proverts. Proverts.
Oh, he's a provert. He calls people provert.
Yeah, provert. Huh.
He could lead a revolution. How wild is that shit?
All the children.
Yeah, could he?
I think
And
about that
rise
with
up.
my children whenever they like do something adult like. I always imagine them in the wild with spears stabbing things, and I'm like, they might be able to survive at this age. Like,
Pretty sure they wouldn't. I mean, it depends how much help they had and the
Yeah.
support system.
That's true.
What kind of food is available? I mean,
Uh-huh.
is it very comparable area, festive, a lot of good temperatures, no storms? Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd be fine.
Yeah. Do you think that's where like a biological angst comes from? Because then you're supposed to be able to like fend for yourself.
Good point. I mean,
You are strong enough as a teenager to like take down a boar.
here's the weird part. I feel like the two are opposite, and this was going to come up later in the episode, but I feel like being at one with nature and worrying about dying is totally different than having it all and not knowing that feeling, and it's like almost an angst at not knowing what your life
The
is
separation from
for.
nature.
Yeah, from nature, like the exact opposite. I feel like when you're fighting to survive, that's not called angst, that's just called like stress or struggle, life. But when you don't have to struggle, and everything's gifted to you, and you can keep the air a perfect temperature, and you get all the gifts and nutrients you need whenever you want, and they can taste however you want. There's a weird creeping sensation that
It's
you
fake.
can do whatever you want, but it's fake. That's like that's angst to me. Like that weird feeling that's behind it all. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna die still. I
I've
don't
known
know.
people that grew up with a silver spoon, and like they didn't do things themselves, so they never feel like
Mhm.
they've built up their own strength.
Is do they get it? Do you think they feel angst though? They have to feel something weird,
I feel like,
incomplete.
like everyday things. Like if you put one of those people in like my position, they'd probably be very worried. Like there's a lot of shit I don't know that I have to do, but I have to figure it out. And like I feel like a lot of people would just collapse.
But that's not angst. That's just like being like, this is, whew, that's a lot. I can't. Whew, I'm overwhelmed. I'm done.
But it is
You
angst
think?
if you think of it as like
I don't know. Is it?
not just like a singular thing that you have to do. It's just like all of the things that are this difficult that jobs require. Then you think about like, oh, I don't know if I could do. I don't know if I could work. Like that's an angsty thing. It's like I don't know if I
Okay.
could fit into the world of corporate all
I could
bullshit.
belong. I don't
Yeah.
think I could belong. Sort of like I'm not made to belong.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make myself belong. I will never fit here. That's totally an angst thing.
And I think
But again, long term, long term.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think I picked this like topic because I went back home and
Oh, did you?
it like no
Did you
one.
give me a hug?
Yeah,
Did
I
you give me a
did.
hug?
I most
Go ahead,
certainly
tell the
did.
audience.
Yeah. Well, that guy got a hug.
Big hug. I
Big
get a
hug.
big hug,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Loving. Very loving.
I gave him an even
I'm a
bigger
lover.
hug.
I'm a giver too.
Very generous lover. In fact,
The picture
last
made
thing I
it seem
saw.
much larger.
Oh yeah, those ladies at that other table.
They were
They had some
totally.
angst
Yeah.
for. They were
Mm-hmm.
angsting us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're like, wait a second, we're not. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hey. But so like I very very rarely have time to myself, and it reminded me when I did have time to myself in that hotel room, and I was like, I have like 3 hours free, but
What do I do with it?
I want to do something with it. So like, there's a
Uh-huh.
weird angst of like, I should be doing something, and that feeling only came back when I was up there because it's fucking dark up there. Like, there's like nothing around that's like easy to do, which is weird. It's not like you can just like go someplace and just like chill out. Like a bar
What are you
is,
talking about over here?
yeah, like up there it gets super like dark and cold, and like you
Well, I
kind of
feel
need
like
to know
that's
people.
also that's very recent. I mean, you came up right when that started. But to your defense, for 6 to 8 months, it is like that. Sure.
Yes, yeah. So it
Okay.
reminded me of when I was younger, and like as a teenager, when you don't have anything to do and you know you're like supposed to be doing something, it's like it's all about the people that you know and like the places you're allowed to go, which are minimal. It's like you could go to a mall, go to a movie, go play hockey, or like spend time at a friend's house, which is mainly what I would do.
Hmm.
So like when I was standing there in that hotel room, like everyone else is working, I have 3 hours to kill, and I wanted to spend it with like have some meaning. I felt that like weird angstiness, like I didn't want to just stay
Angstiness. I
there.
love that.
I felt restless. I wanted to get out and do something, but you don't know what it is you want to do, and you have no like target. There's nothing. There's like everything's
Floating
available, so you don't
around
know
in
what.
the nebulous,
Yeah.
the nebulousness. There was something I saw that I wanted to talk about with the word angst. Angsty. I love angsty as a word.
Anxiety,
Cracks me
fear,
up.
dread, apprehension, worry,
Hmm.
perturbation, foreboding,
Ooh.
trepidation, malaise, distress, disquietude.
Disquietude is a real word. I think
Yeah.
angstitude was a real word. Hold on, I had to
Institute
find.
is a word. Is
Yeah,
it?
I was cracking up. Something like it, and I was cracking up. Here, etymology. It comes from German or a Danish for Angst. It's attested since the 19th century. It was initially capitalized in Germany. It's like a Freud type thing.
Hmm.
Um, it, it meant angst. Yeah, sure. Anyway, it's like emotional turmoil, painful sadness. And I was like, apprehension. brought on by depression. Here we go. Angsty, angst-ridden, angstless, angstful, angst bunny. Oof, good words. I'm glad they had this. I don't know the point of this, but there's a list of anagrams for the word. Are you ready, folks? Playing at home? Gnats,
Strang,
ganst, stang, tangs, sang, gnast, gnats, and tangs. I was like, well, what did this have to do with anything? And I was like, that's kind of cool. I'm going to bring them up.
Thank you for wasting our time, Nick.
Well, it was in a definition, and I was like, that's tight.
It's like I don't know. It's pushing its boundaries too far. It's like we're the master of letters, so we're going to show you all the letters and how they fit together.
I guess so. It
Please
really
click on
a
these
waste of time.
words. Yeah.
Click, please. And look at this. We're gonna have someone say goodbye.
Oh.
Live on a podcast. We're gonna have someone say goodbye to me. Oh my god, she's dropping something.
Oh. Hope she comes in and just like madly attacks you with love.
Do you know how I feel right now? I'm filled with angst.
Yeah.
I just saw a shadow.
Dread,
but I don't
worry.
know.
It's coming for you.
I don't even know.
See you, Nick.
Oh, see you, Chris.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Hey. It's done.
Your
Whoop, whoop.
your ride is ready.
Yeah, my ride is on. He's yelling at me right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I gotta go.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for saying bye. I meant the broom.
The broom?
It was a clever joke. Yeah, there was a broom right there, a black broom. No one will get that joke unless you rewound and watch.
Very carefully. It's been planted.
Very, very carefully.
Oh, there you go.
So, anyway. Say Mike. See you, bro. Take it easy, man. And, was it Trina? You were saying something before?
I was saying, it's kind of interesting when you get older and you're challenged and you exceed at those challenges, that you kind of lose your sense of angst. Even now, it's like once you have a cushion of money that you can just, slide right down on, it really alleviates a lot of the worry in the world. Don't you think, Nick?
I don't think so, but maybe.
Is there anything you worry about, really?
Ironically enough, no, not really. Well, at least not with that. Like, I don't worry about money because, like, I feel like I'll never catch it. So it's almost like, what is it? Here, do you worry that you'll never make it in the NHL?
No.
Like, does it even bother you?
No, I'm already past.
Are you like, it would be so cool if somehow I woke up with Rookie of the Year powers and I got the
I had a dream that I had an empty netter in the NHL last night.
That'd be pretty cool, right? Would you be against that? No, not at all.
No.
But are you like, really, is it going to affect your life that much?
It was an empty netter, and they were debating whether it went in, and I was like, "What else are you looking at?"
Cameras everywhere, but it's like that. I mean, like, I don't know, like, ugh.
I don't think I can worry about too many things. Like, if you had to relive life,
I would still worry about teenage stuff, I guess. I mean, if I didn't know better, but I don't know. Do you worry about which girls like you, which whatever? But that's not angst, I guess. That's more like day-to-day worry or like petty worry.
But like, I feel like a teenager would roll that into like much higher level shit. Like, it'd be like, does anybody like me, or like,
is anyone
do women
real?
Like,
are we all fake?
I feel like you don't have enough
Where's
experiences to back up like any sort of knowledge about it.
Well, the knowledge you have about it is literally, it makes up the whole world, but it's only been like 3 years of you being old enough to like hold your own wiener and like wipe your own ass. And then you're basing everyone in the world on those 3 years when like, dude, some mood swings last 3 to 5 years. Some hairstyles are like still in. Some mustaches will last on a guy's face for like 5 years.
And you're going to remember that kid that pissed himself too.
I was just going with, you better live longer than that guy's mustache before you start throwing around remarks. But yeah, like, I don't know. You can't know the world. You might think you do, but I don't think that's... I guess... Is angst goth? Can you be like happy angsty? I don't
Happy that you're... So I'm always a nonconformist, and I'm always happy that I'm nonconformist. Whenever people are like, "Oh, do this thing," and I hear it like multiple times, I'm just like, "Fuck you, people!" And I'm just like, "I'm just gonna go over here."
They're like, "Don't rub hot sauce all over your balls." You're like, they're like, "Don't rub chili powder on any open sores on your pee-pee." And Dan's like, "Come on, people." Everyone's like, "Just don't do it." And he's like, "Conformity? I don't think so." Takes a big old handful of chili powder and just rubs that bad boy on there. Fuck conformity. You hear me?
Yeah. So staying in the same place? What do you feel?
No, I was going with
Where are you going?
I was derailed by your sentence.
Nowhere. I know. There's
you know
a thought.
Where you're going? Nowhere.
I just dropped a dollop of brain thought in your noggin.
You did, and then you ran away and rubbed chili powder all over your genitals.
Maybe it's my penis that you're thinking about.
Yeah, it is.
Next episode, Dick.
Are we eventually going to do that episode, or eventually do the shit on women episode? Who knows? Stay tuned, folks.
You combine it into one. Most offensive episode ever.
Would be pretty good.
Yeah, it would make me laugh. I realize also that like dark humor, people just don't like. 90. What do you think? 90% of people just like don't like dark humor.
85 to 90.
Yeah,
we'll break it down a little bit, but
like Ryan's tour review is like a really dark ending to that. Like people would just like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe. But I'd be like, oh my god, I saw it coming.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Called it. Episode 132.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, hope everything's fine with that kid.
I do.
Especially in the future, because he's gonna have a rough life.
He is, because
he hasn't even hit. If you have $80 million and you haven't hit puberty yet, like you're gonna be Brit.
I don't know.
You're gonna be crashing Ferraris.
No clue what's gonna be. He's gonna be doing the wildest shit known to man. Like your mom can only tell you no so many times when you make $80 million, and you, like you said, you haven't even grown hair on your balls. Like that's wild. He's gonna hit phases like where he thinks he knows everything. Like, can you imagine if I had like $80 million at 13? Yeah. Even if you do argue with him, it's gonna make it worse. Like I feel like at 13, there were a few things that I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that just the rest of the world was fucked up, and I knew it. And that was like my angst. But I knew it. Like I didn't think it. I knew it in the core of my being. I think a little bit that's where angst is. It's a knowing sensation. It's not a think. It's you're 100% into it, and it's usually bad. It's like, hey, I know I just fucked up this, or hey, I know this is coming to fuck us up, or hey, I know this is messed up in the world today. And it's a feeling that the wave is so big that you can't stop it. Like angst is never like, oh no, I forgot to turn off the toaster and it could burn the house down. Ooh, I unplugged it. That's not angst. That's like worry. Angst is like, I found out about this terrible thing that's going to ruin my life or ruin my parents' life or ruin society. And it's so big, we can't stop it. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like a inevitability of angst.
Yeah.
It's too big. It's too powerful.
It's persistent and at scale. So like you can't avoid thinking about how much you might be like lacking. Like if you like have insurance and you think you don't have enough insurance, it's like that persistent worry will always be there, even if you buy more insurance.
You can never have enough.
You're never protected. Yeah, you always feel vulnerable.
I mean, you will. I mean, there's no way to 100% guarantee anything. That's angst, baby. Angst. Oh yeah, angst. The word is very German and Danish, isn't it? Ugh, the G, the S, the T.
Can't get away from it. So like
when we started the episode, we did it on that music tone. Music can even be angsty, right?
I'm trying not to get
like that
copyright.
Oh, if that was dead on, someone better give me some other kind of deal because that was so far off. But that's angsty, right? It made you feel like unease, like something was off time.
Yeah, there's a trepidation there. It's a little bit
like, whoa,
off kilter, off beat.
What the?
Change of
fuck?
Change of phase a little bit.
Oh.
I kind of want to also talk about like
Yeah.
I feel like the angst that I had when I was younger, like, created me into being like a little bit stronger. Like, it forces you
You
to.
mentioned this in the text. A good angst, a good angle on angst. Let's do it.
So like, it's constant. It's constant that you need to be pushed out of your comfort zone, and like, if you're in your comfort zone and you feel completely fine, then you're probably going to just continue in that area. I don't think many people will push themselves outside their comfort zone unless they feel like it's not comfortable.
I agree.
I think
Pushing yourself, discomfort in general, but I guess angst.
Yeah, I think that's the goal of angst, is to just make you feel like constantly like you need to do something different. Even if you're doing everything 100% right, like, you're still going to double check everything and make sure that, like, when you're taking a test, do you take up the whole time? Like, I had this experience recently
100%.
where another guy didn't.
Because I go over my answers all the time too.
Yeah, I review them, I reread them. I
Recheck.
just kind of like, okay, I have time. I'll take it easy and just do it all.
Maybe two. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially for big tests that have a lot right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's weirdly that I had a friend that took the same test as me recently. It was an 8-hour test, and he finished in half the time. And he just was like, okay, it's good now. And I was like,
that tells me that's bad. I'd be like, I didn't do that well. Like, I messed something up. I missed something. Let's go back and slow it down.
Yeah, I just, when I see that guy, I envision Josiah in swim class throwing those floaties into the pool and feeling free, and then the moment
not realizing that you've just fucked yourself so royally. The teache's watching you. You have no idea what you've just
What was his name? It was like Mr. Lickner or something?
Yeah, it was. You have got to be out of your goddamn mind, son. The way he said, he screamed it, and I'd never heard a teacher like curse up to that month or whatever, but to a religious kid, and just his look of shock that he had done. It literally was the worst thing he'd ever done.
Yeah.
And it made me feel good because he finally did something free. Something emotional,
exactly.
Something
he released himself from the chains he lived in.
Immediately for it. Within 10 seconds of having a good time, he was screamed at by a gym teacher, of all ones, a swim teacher. Good Lord. Are you out of your goddamn mind, son? Like, screamed at him like a drill sergeant.
That was the moment before, So I imagine that, I don't know what his scores are, but I assume that he's going to get those scores and be like, oh, god damn it, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, he should have just sat there and finished the test. Right. Instead of being gleefully whatever.
Oh, I thought that was this section. Oh, damn. Yeah, oh, damn. That's why it took you 4 hours.
Yeah. And when I finished that test, that day, legal substance, CBD, like, I have some of it. I did like a tincture, so a little drop. You know,
I got pot brownies in my house.
Yeah. Well, you got what?
Pot brownies in my house.
Oh, you do? Huh. Legal pot brownies.
I mean, by the time this episode airs, it might be legal across everywhere.
Yeah, hope so.
Anyway.
But, like, there's a level of stress that you constantly deal with that you might not know. And I feel like when I do take CBD, I sleep better. I don't know if it has restorative properties or whatnot, but it's fantastic. But
when I've had any of the pot brownies, I've slept better too. But I also it takes longer to wake up.
Yeah.
Like the next day, I'm a little sluggish.
Yeah.
Like,
a little delayed.
I don't know. A little bit.
Yeah, but it takes the edge off. It makes you wonder, like, what baseline you're at. Because I felt stressed studying and doing all sorts of stuff for like a straight month, and then that weekend
if you're stressed the whole time, you don't even know you're stressed. That's just regular. You said baseline, right?
Yeah but you can feel better.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. In fact, I would say, can you tell what your baseline is by getting fucked up on drugs and alcohol to the point where your body has no inhibitions, and then you just realize pure freedom for like a few hours?
That sounds fantastic.
Even though it's a vaguely hazy version of freedom.
Do you think if you were to go back and try to live like a college kid and like go to a bar and like get smashed, like people would look at you like you're the old dude that's
scum.
Just like,
you'd be scum.
He's like addicted to stuff and he can't handle himself and he's an alcoholic.
Luckily, they have those people. I mean, we have alcoholics in our neighborhoods, our local bars. Like we still have potheads. Luckily, we still have these people. So if you did try it, you'd just be one of them. And I don't know that that's a terrible thing. I just think it's a hell of a way to spend 5 straight years of your life. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And you just wake up, you're like, what did I do? You're like, you're the town drunk. Oh, damn it. I was joking. And everyone's like, ah. Anyway, you're going to have to apply for a job, and everyone knows you're the town drunk.
Go to counseling because you need help.
You can quit anything. You can change your life. You can do whatever. You can move whatever. It's hard as shit, but you can do it.
So what do you worry about, Nick? What kind of worry do you get?
Mostly my kid, honestly.
You just worry
about me.
He's going to get bullied, or like he's going to be lacking in some regard?
He's not the most academically savvy. He's a little out of left field. He has ADHD. It hasn't been diagnosed, but I know it's coming. Like he has trouble focusing and stuff, and I worry that he doesn't like school. He's not going to be good at it, and then it's going to double reinforce where now he doesn't want to go to school. He doesn't want to participate, and he's not going to have fun. And now he's not doing good at school. And I'm like, just do good enough to do good, dude. And then like he's going to hate it, and now all his classmates are getting along, and he's kind of outcast. And I'm like, oh shit, you got to go make friends with all these people. Yeah, you're going to hate him, and yeah, you'll be Facebook friends. And in like 7 years, you can just ignore their goddamn requests. But for 7 years, dude, they're going to be more a part of your life than I am. But I can't make friends for him. Like, do you know what I mean?
You kind of, yeah. I do worry about,
because I can make friends with whoever. I'll be like, yo, shithead, sweet Fortnite dance. What's up? Yo, I got cherry bombs. We can blow up a toilet. Like, you know what I mean? I can pretend to be friends with any of these little shits. He might not be able to do that, and I worry. I'm like, oh shit, dude.
What if he makes the wrong friend?
What if he does? What if he doesn't make any friends? What if he makes the friend that's like, I hate that kid. This kid's a drag. What if his friend's a druggie? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Drugs are cool, but not at this age. Stop it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't control his life, and that gives me angst. It's his life, not my life. I can care less. My life is over. It's over. Peaked. We're hitting the valley. I'm done.
So I have 2 kids, and one of them, well, the older one, a lot of people have like thought he had like autism or something, because he like is really quiet when he talks, and like he doesn't talk all that much. So like it has been suggested by multiple people, and he doesn't have autism, but he'll go to class and just sit down quietly and like be in his own little world. That's just like the way he functions. And I worry about that a little bit. But my youngest one, he's only like 1.5, but when he walks into the room, he just like looks around at everybody. This literally, like, we dropped him off in the older one's classroom, and he walked over to the teacher, and the teacher loves him. So she picked him up, and she was giving him a hug. And all of the kids in the classroom were like, I want to give Jack a hug. So they all got up and got in line to give him a hug, like one after another.
That's going to give your other son,
I know, complex.
Nameless, a complex, because he's already showing him up. He's not even, man. He's already more popular in his class than he is in his class. Oh, damn, dude.
He was in line to hug his own brother.
Oh, he had to wait in line. Hey, you don't know.
Did you skip?
Yeah.
Back in line.
To the back. It's my brother. Yeah. Nice try, Kyle.
Did you get
back of the line?
Yeah.
Back of the line.
I made sure to give my oldest a hug at the end of that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I was like, you can feel that thing as a parent that like there could be emotions brewing that build into something that like forges your character into something you can't unforge.
It's weird where you don't know which actions are of the utmost importance of shaping someone's life for the rest of their life, and which is just like a Wednesday they will probably forget or not even believe you if you told them that it happened. He'd be like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I was 3. And you'll be like, no, it shaped your entire life. And he'd be like, I don't know, Dad. Like, you don't know. It's weird.
It's like, 20 years from now, he'll be like, you didn't give me the Tootsie Roll. And then it's like, what are you talking about? He's like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with you forever.
Wednesday, the 14th of October. He's just screaming at you, and you're like, I don't know what.
Never playing Bart Cheesy again.
Yeah. Now I know why I'm not happy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That gives us angst, I guess.
Does that cover it? Is that everything you wanted to say, Nick?
No, because I feel like there's a whole creepy part of angst. Like, is angst opening a door in a haunted house and like taking a long time to open that door? Is that angst? Because I mean, it's like dread. They're related. I don't know if they're angst.
I don't know. Like, if you go down to the base, like, fear of it, like, what's your fear? That someone's gonna harm you?
So, fear. So is angst based on fear, right?
Not by the definition that you read.
Oh, interesting. Well, you also read it with me.
Yes.
At the exact same time.
Uh-huh.
We read it together. We Googled it right as the episode started, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
And then we both read it out loud to the audience.
Yeah.
Who's
so
listening.
A jump scare doesn't fall into the prolonged anxiety about the world itself.
Ah, thank you. Because I forgot the definition. I was hoping you would get that hint.
Mm-hmm. So, so what about the people who worry about like things like recycling or like the environment or like climate change? Like that is angst.
I have recycling angst. Is that angst?
I think you care about you worry that the world is going to die. Like the world is a thing that you can kill. And I think maybe, and scientists, like 97% of them say like, yeah, we're fucked. And then the world just is like, whatever. Probably not. I got other things to do.
So the people who believe it are filled with angst because of it? Is angst attention? It's attention, right?
Yeah. Do you think there's like eco-conservative people that... I know a guy that has like his own straw that he pulls from his satchel. Yeah. And I mean, good for him. But I feel like maybe there's a piece of him that says like, maybe other people should do this. And like, maybe by doing it, I'm going to like get other people
convince them.
Yeah.
Lead by example.
It gives me angst that I have to deal with that. Like, I don't want to deal with that. No.
So he's worried about the planet failing, and you're worried about having to deal with him.
No,
it's kind of funny when you think about it.
Yeah, I think he worries about other people not doing the same thing he does, because I think in his mind that's the way you should do it. Like that's the good thing for the planet. But he must have angst because no one fucking gives a shit. And like I care a little bit, and I'm like, we're probably fucked. But he must feel so much worse.
Well, think about it, because if you look at it from his perspective, Dan's on my side, and he looks over and he has a recyclable straw, and you're just like doing this. You're like,
I agree with you. I like when the water hits my lips faster.
You're like, I totally agree with you. Straws to go.
More. I need more.
More. I need more.
It's like, can't you do with just one? He's like, I'm like, that doesn't feel as good. I just like it when I like things more. Can I like things more?
I like it when I like things more, to quote him. Yeah. What I did just want to touch on, we touched on it. We danced around it.
What do you want to touch?
Just, there's probably a sickness that's coming for humanity we're so far removed from nature, as we touched on with our perfect temperatures and our beautiful houses and our linens that cover our soft bodies and our ability to have anything and everything we want at all times.
Yeah.
I don't have to struggle in nature one bit, bitch. You know what I worry about the weather? What I'm going to look like in my outfit, okay?
What kind of filter do I need to use on my Instagram to make this look warm and cozy?
What kind of gas am I putting in my Range Rover when I drive over some dead animals? Like, you know what I mean? That's all we have to worry about as humans. But I think there's gotta be a repercussion, and I think it's like that angst that you just touched on. Like,
it's
unnatural.
I just had my father-in-law visit, and he complained about everything that was not in his cocoon. So like, he could sleep on a couch, but the couch wasn't comfortable enough, so he bought
comfy enough.
An inflatable bed. And then like he goes for a jog, and like his shoes are like this fucking thick. And I go like, if you would just wear like regular shoes, like flat-soled shoes, your feet would be strong enough to support your own weight. And so like having stuff like that, just like the comfort
makes you weaker.
Yeah, it makes you weaker and it makes you frail, and you end up hating like the way you feel. Like you can't deal with the world because the world is putting pressure on you. Gravity and weight.
So what are we doing with these luxuries? Keeping that weight off of us for a while? I have no idea.
Creating your own little bubbles.
Sure. So you're pushing that weight, that crushing whatever. But is angst the feeling of knowing that that weight is out there? And now my soft, unrelinquished body, once removed from my bubble, will be just destroyed. Is that angst?
It's like, what is it, Brain from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? He's just like inside that like metal husk.
Krang.
Yeah. Krang.
Yeah, Krang. Yeah, thank you. He is a brain.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So like, what's your thing like that? Like for me, it's like really hot showers that last forever. Like wasting water and heat, electricity. I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay right here because I'm in the zone right now.
With my waterproof headphones? God damn it, dude. That's the best feeling in the world, especially if you have a few drinks in you. I might do one tonight.
Oh.
So good. Yeah, that's my cocoon. The other thing is, the cool thing is, my favorite thing to do is to push my body to feel uncomfortable. I love discomfort. I find that, I find that the healthiest thing I do in my life, day-to-day life, is to embrace pain, discomfort, and embarrassment, and just embrace all the things that we're kind of naturally recoil from. Because there's only a base value for it. Like you can only get so uncomfortable or so in pain. Like it doesn't multiply times 10. You can't be in pain times 10, times 20, times 30. No, it's just pain. You can't be I'm uncomfortable times 10, times 20, times 30. No, it's just like you're just uncomfortable. So if you embrace it, you can laugh like an evil piece of shit. And that's what I do sometimes. I'm like, I do ab workouts till it hurts. And I'm like, I'm going to have a fucking six pack. Like sometimes I just like, I push it and I sweat out booze. And I'm like, I can still drink booze and work out. Like sometimes I do shit that most people don't want to do. And I'm like, I just did it. And I hate myself for it, but I hate all of you more for it. And it's a weird feeling. I don't know. It's probably healthy, probably normal.
There's a piece of me that I like the threshold. Like once you go past the threshold, you realize that like you can overcome it, but your body has to like push through it, and then you also have to stay there. Like staying there, I think most people don't do it.
Oh yeah, once they touch it, they recoil. It's like no, just keep in there, dude. Like if it's 90 outside, don't turn on your air conditioning. There were times where I drive my work van, which has no air conditioning. I'd roll up the windows on a hot day to see how much I sweat.
Turn the heat on.
I sweat all down the upholstery, everywhere, dude. My shirt would have back sweat, and I'd be like, there's something that makes you.
Do
laugh.
Other people use that van too? You're like, hey, take the keys. There you go.
That was my van. That was my bad boy. But if they did, I wouldn't care.
Well, they would probably care. You're like, oh, this Nick sweat. Oh,
this is disgusting.
I love this so much. They're scooping it up.
You just have to. The anti-angst is rolling in it. It's just punching it. It's getting punched in the face and enjoying it. Angst is like being afraid of the punch in the face. It's like knowing that it's coming. It's knowing that you deserve it. It's knowing that it's going to hurt and feel bad. So the antithesis is wanting to get punched in the face. It's like Fight Club. That's anti-angst. Would you agree?
I do. I feel like the most angsty thing that you can do is like when you finally realize that you like girls and you have to like hit on a girl, which is so weird because it's so out of the norm.
The angsty part is planning it and thinking about it and trying to figure it out.
Which is all me. That's all I do.
It's called overthinking.
Yeah.
That's angst, dude. The opposite is just doing it and knowing that, you could probably screw it up. You could probably do terribly. You could probably get rejected horribly. But would you just do that outright? Yeah, maybe you will get rejected and look like a dumbass and et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. There's no angst in that.
If you accept failure, which most people don't.
I was even going to simplify it even more. It's this super ego versus the ego. So when you overthink things, when you overcomplicate things, when you over try to solve things, when you overreach, when you over analyze, you run into angst. If you're dumb as shit and you just do it, you will not feel angst. Maybe.
So you're saying to avoid angst, just become dumb.
Yeah.
Super dumb.
Oh yeah.
Do you think the dumbest people in the world feel angst?
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
Isn't that weird?
I've seen autistic people really freak out. But autistic people are in a different...
Autism isn't stupid. That's like inability to... your sensory type
like
thing.
a different spectrum.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I think actually dumb people have no angst. In fact, they're super confident.
I've seen dumb people be super confident. Have you seen... I don't... Well, there's different Reddit groups that have since died because they've gotten axed. There's one of watch people die. One of those faces of death one. The most confident guy I saw prepared to run and jump over this giant pit, and he just didn't make it. And you think, why? What are you proving? And what the hell are you gonna why do you... I don't even know. You watch that person fall down that giant pit and you go, he really thought he could make it. He's overcome. Do you think he lacked the angst about death? I feel like people don't really care about death.
I would say he didn't have angst about that situation. Well, he may have, but it wasn't enough to stop him. Angst is a check and balance for intelligence? I don't know.
I don't know where we go from here.
I think we have to wrap it up.
Probably.
Sum it up. Yeah. Wrap it up. Sum it up. Tie it together.
Bundle it.
Take it off.
Upsell.
Make sure it's a little clean. Blow into it. Turn it into a condom balloon. Tie a knot. Make it into an animal. And then put it back on. And now you're doing it really doggy style.
I don't know how that's safer.
It's not. Angst. Oof. Where do we begin? Germany in the 18th century? Probably.
Yeah. High school? Teenagers? Vampires? Glitter? Yeah. All that.
Yeah, I'd say the teenage years is when angst begins. But again, this is because that's when your intelligence blossoms and that's when you start thinking long term. At 8 or 9, you're not really thinking about your long-term romance goals or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I did see a Reddit thread about which celebrity gives you the hardest boner. It was fantastic because every answer was a different variation of Danny DeVito.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Danny DeVito.
Frank Reynolds from that show.
Yeah. It's always funny. It's always funny.
Oh, who the effing, god damn it, mother effer. I closed you so many times.
Danny DeVito, aka Frank Reynolds.
Every answer was Danny DeVito. I don't know how people could possibly pull that off, but they did. And it was amazing.
Sure, they weren't just the highest rating ones.
People loved it so much. Danny DeVito. That's true, though. That's true.
I'm not going to deny it. I actually like Rita Perlman.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you had little plastic boners, I think you could give a lot of people boners. If you could hand them out. I don't think, physically they probably wouldn't have boners, but you could give them a physical boner.
I will give you a boner. I will give you a boner. I've given you a boner. I know you're a female, but I've given you a boner. This one's from me.
Have my boner. No.
What?
Have my boner.
Oh, I thought you said half my boner.
Half my
Slice
boner.
it in half.
Oh, God.
Half my boner.
Lengthwise or?
Ah.
Good finish.
Good finish. Angst is for smart people. Angst is for people who care about the future. Angst is for people who care about the planet. They care about themselves. They care about their loved ones. They care about something. Non-angst, aka chillin', is for all the cool villains out
How many
there.
people do you think actually care about like the big things and like have no incentive otherwise to do it?
I'd say 50%, but I mean, what do you define as big? I mean, their life and like their retirement plans and all, and someone who also cares about the world, and someone who also, or could care about the world,
or the people that they'll never know, the starving children in Africa.
I do think there's 50% of the population that does think of bigger things.
Do you think that's because it's like put on them to think about it? Like you're going to be scorned by your God if you don't like support the good causes.
Maybe they listen to the unpanders and they never thought about this shit before, but now they do, and it's like, whoa, I didn't think of that.
I have angst that no one will ever donate to us. I'm going to see a big 0 on that site, and I'll be like,
do you have angst about that?
No, not really. At all.
Yeah, see, don't have angst. I don't know how to explain angst. But
yeah, I think 2 years ago it was like the invention. I think actually 2 years right around now is when we invented this podcast.
That might have been in November, was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
We could find the date on that, but interesting.
Probably could. So I don't know. I think
your angst gone up or down
since then. Way down.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's a level of confidence here. There's also like I've noticed that like my life has changed enough that like I've experienced more jobs and more weird stress and things that don't make sense and just like all the random crap. I just like bundle that up and just like shrink it down, make it nice and tight, and just push off to the side. Yeah.
Well, you embrace it. You get into the discomfort of it. You get into the weirdness of it, and then you just push through.
Yeah. Navigating the world is how you beat angst.
Kind of is. Embracing it, doing it, physically doing it. Doing it is beating angst. Angst is the act of not doing it.
Yes. I agree. What did we cover, Nick? Rita Perlman, Danny DeVito.
Rita Perlman, Danny DeVito.
Hot dogs.
Boners. Giving out boners. Boners for everyone. Boners for days. Teenage boners. Boners in children. Boners
Anxiety.
in adults.
Fear.
Boners in fear.
Dread.
Fear boners.
Medication.
Dreadful boners.
Are we talking about medication?
Boners for medication. Medication for boners.
Viagra. Do you think people... So this is a big topic, but do you think people should be given medication to deal with anxiety when they're a teenager?
No, I think you should start younger, like 6.
When they're born. This IV drip of like... I don't want him to cry, ever. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my God. We're getting to that point, right?
That's dark.
There'd be a sense of dread with that person, dude. They don't even know what they are afraid of. That's fucked up. We talked about...
Dude, they would... I feel like a person like that would hold their child on a pedestal and be like, well, my child has never cried. And like... They like put down your child because they feel emotion. Like, he doesn't feel those stupid things.
Wild.
Wow. Just turned a little deep there.
Well, because I can't get into it. It's a whole nother episode.
Yep. That's true.
So yeah, we talked about everything from the origins of the word to the origins of the feeling to the origins of Germans. When we get angsty people and people who are angsty and
all that stuff. I hope that's a keyword. All that stuff.
Long term, short term, embrace it, don't embrace it, avoid it, dig into it up to your elbows in manure. Like that's how you get out of angst.
Jurassic Park.
Yep. So to sum it up, honestly, check our socials, check everything we do. If you like this kind of an episode, we get angst every night that you guys aren't clicking enough likes, clicking the heart button, clicking donate. If your parents have credit cards, just use the credit card. It's not a big deal.
Someone will pay off that debt.
I will.
That you own most of it.
I do. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for talking about angst. If you guys have anything to add, you can put it down in the comment section above or below, wherever it is. Right?
For the first 10 comments that say Willy Wonka is fantabulous, I will send you $1 in the mail. A literal $1.
Postage included?
I'll cover the postage. I got it.
Oh
yeah.
High roller.
If you've made it this far,
Said it, not me.
you're willing to go a little further.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. We like you. We like you a lot. Check these socials. Get in here. Give us a big old angsty hug and put one right here for Daddy.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Here he comes.
I can't lean it.
You can. A little further.
Hit it. I'm gonna fall, dude. I'm gonna hit my subwoofer.